Women will never admit these weaknesses, not because they're hiding them, but because they're dying for a man strong enough to notice. Most men only see the surface, skin curves, a perfect smile. But beneath her beauty is tension, a storm she doesn't understand, a desire she can't confess. She doesn't want your compliments. She wants your presence. She doesn't want your approval. She wants to feel your edge. You're not here to impress. You're here to read her. See the flicker in her eye when you go silent. 8. To catch the hesitation in her voice when she's fine. To recognize the crack behind her strength. This isn't manipulation. This is masculine. Mastery. Stoic. Sexual. Unshakable. You're not here to expose her. You're here to remain calm while she exposes herself. Out. And that's what makes you dangerous. Oh, and before we continue, I've got something special for you. A free ebook, The Female Mind Control Handbook. It reveals the hidden secrets to making any woman crave you. Grab it now, link in the description or pinned comment. 1. The hidden craving. She wants to be owned. See her across the room, glowing, confident, untouchable. She wants you to think she's in control. But here's the secret. She's aching for the opposite. Her deepest craving isn't to dominate, it's to surrender. It's not to a weak man who begs, but to a man who doesn't flinch. She wants to be taken not with force, but with undeniable masculine presence. This is her hidden weakness. She desires to be possessed emotionally, mentally, sexually by a man who can handle all of her without losing himself. But society told her that's wrong, so she buries it. She covers her fantasy in feminism filters and fake independence. Still, her body knows she'll test you. She'll push you away, pretend she's not interested, challenge your authority. But deep, inside, she's waiting for one thing. A man who doesn't ask permission to lead. The Stoic man. He reads the room, sees the hunger in her eyes, and stays unshaken. He doesn't chase. He moves with intention, silence, and command. That contrast, her inner storm, your outer stillness, ignites something ancient. It bypasses logic, makes her submit without even realizing she wanted to. Most men never get this far. They try to impress, seduce, or prove themselves. But a woman is not conquered by words. She's claimed through unapologetic, masculine gravity. Be that, and she'll follow your lead. Breathless, wet, and grateful. Her lips lie, but her weakness is emotional nudity. A woman can lie with her words, but her emotions, her energy, her body language never. She'll say, I'm not looking for anything serious, but stare at you with pupils dilated and breathing shallow. She'll say, I don't catch feelings. While checking your stories at 3 a.m., she'll say, we're just having fun. But get icy when you talk to another girl. Her words are armor, but her behavior exposes the truth. This is her second weakness. She wants to feel emotionally naked, to be seen in her mess, her lust, her contradictions, without being judged or analyzed. But here's the catch. Most men are either too blind to see or too emotional to stay grounded when they do. The Stoic man does the opposite. He watches, listens, waits. He sees her storm and remains the mountain. He doesn't ask, what are we? He doesn't say, do you love me? He already knows, because he doesn't listen to her words. He listens to the emotional frequency beneath them. Stoicism teaches appearances are deceptive, judged by action, not words. So when she laughs too loud, looks too perfect, brags about how unbothered she is, he sees the girl behind the performance. And when he finally speaks, he doesn't flatter. He simply says, you don't have to pretend around me. Boom. Her legs may not part, but her soul will. That's emotional intimacy. That's the real seduction. 3. Drama is her drug and calmness is your power. Women say they want peace, but pay attention. Many are addicted to emotional chaos. She starts petty fights, disappears for hours, creates stories in her head that make no sense. Why? Because drama gives her control, and emotion is her language. She'll test you not to hurt you, but to measure you, to see if you'll lose your cool. if you'll chase, if you'll argue back like a boy, or stand tall like a man. This is her third weakness. She subconsciously creates tension to feel your reaction. And when you don't give her the emotional spike she craves, she either evolves or disappears. Either way, you win. The Stoic man doesn't flinch when provoked. He doesn't beg when she's cold. He doesn't fight for attention. He attracts it by doing. Nothing emotionally unnecessary. Seneca said, "If you want to win, learn to endure without complaint." She doesn't even know why your silence affects her so deeply. But it does. It forces her to reflect, to feel her own drama without dragging. You into it? When you stay calm, you hold the masculine frame. And inside that frame, she can finally rest. Not because you tamed her, but because you refused to dance with her chaos. She's all fantasy, but reality is her weak spot. Let's get raw. A woman has a fantasy playing in her mind at all times. It's not about a guy with a good job. Not about romance or flowers. It's about power. A man who pins her against the wall, who makes her feel small, feminine, and completely out of control. But here's the glitch. Her fantasy man doesn't exist, because most men are either too timid or too thirsty, too scared to lead or too needy to be respected. So she lives in fiction. She stays in situationships. She fantasizes more than she underscore. This is her fourth weakness. She uses imagination to escape reality because reality is lacking masculine fire. The Stoic man is different. He doesn't try to become her fantasy. He becomes her anchor in reality.
Nice.
He walks like he owns the room, speaks like he doesn't care if she agrees, touches her like he's already had her 10 times before. He doesn't chase validation. He creates a new fantasy, one based on presence, intensity, and primal leadership. And suddenly, she stops scrolling, stops fantasizing, because you become the dream she didn't know she was starving for. That's the power of grounded masculinity. 5. The "I'm fine" lie. She's dying for you to read between her words. She says, "I'm fine," but her voice went flat. Her body pulled away. Her texts got colder, and her eyes, they're screaming. Welcome to her fifth weakness. Communication through contradiction. Women speak in coded emotional language. They rarely say what they mean. Not because they're manipulative, but because their emotional world is layered. They expect a man to feel their tone, not just hear their words. Here's where most men fail. They hear "I'm fine" and back off. Or worse, they beg, plead, and chase for clarity. The Stoic man. He hears the pause before she said it. He watches her body, her breathing, her silence, and he does not react. He leans in, not physically, but with stillness and presence. He says, "You don't have to talk right now, but I see what you're not saying, and I'm here." Boom. That calm pressure, it makes her melt because now she feels understood, seen, penetrated emotionally. This is the man who breaks through the "I'm fine" mask. Not with questions, but with calm masculine certainty. She doesn't want your panic. She wants your awareness. 6. The validation fix. She needs to know she still has power over you. You ever wonder why a woman you barely talk to still watches your stories? Or why your ex texts you out of nowhere when you stop caring? It's not love. It's not missing you. It's validation hunger. This is her sixth weakness. She needs to know she can still affect you, because in her world, attention is currency. Yes. And your attention proves she still holds value. Here's the trap. Most men give her what she wants, hoping to get her back. They reply fast. They compliment her. They let her ego feed off their time, but that only fuels her addiction. The Stoic man. He sees through the bait. She texts, "Hey, just checking in." He thinks, she needs a hit. He delays, replies slow, maybe not at all, because he knows every time you respond emotionally, you pay her. The man with power isn't rude. He's just not available for emotional charity, and that it drives her crazy in the most sexual way possible. She'll wonder what you're doing. Why? You're not responding if you're with someone else, and the fantasy builds. Why? Because the man who denies her ego owns her imagination. 7. The identity crisis. She doesn't know who she really is. You ask her what she wants in a man, says confidence, then kindness. She wants a gentleman, but also a savage. She wants to feel safe, but also dominated. Confused, so is she. This is her 7th weakness. Her identity is fluid and it terrifies her. She's a boss in public, but at night she wants to be devoured. She's independent. But when she's with a strong man, she becomes soft and secretly loves it. The modern woman has been told to be everything sexy, but not underscore fierce, but feminine, hardworking, but soft-hearted. She's exhausted, so she seeks men who can anchor her, not control her, not fix her, just stay grounded while she figures herself out. The Stoic man does just that. He doesn't react when her personality flips. He doesn't argue when she contradicts herself. He simply says, "You don't need to know who you are around me. Just be here. I'll stay the same." And that stability, it makes her fall. Because in a world of identity confusion, the man who knows himself becomes her compass. 8. The too strong act. Her strength is often the shield. She walks in like a queen, head high, voice sharp. She pays her own bills, takes no shot.
Yep.
You think she doesn't need you? Wrong. This is her 8th weakness. Her strength is a survival mask. She's had to be strong. Because weak men failed her, because trust turned into betrayal, because the world punishes so.